skin, definitely light skin niggas, man. Holy shit. Nah, man. We're out here wilding, bro. Shit. No, we're just about to sound it off, man. MIC podcast, episode 59, man. I have a pretty special guest on the food time with me, man. Let me just ring off her. You know what I mean? Let me just get this shit off, man. CEO, artist, musician, songstress.
Oh, okay.
You feel me? We have Clara Kent.
Me?
Is that
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Bet. All right. Songstress.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just a woman of many hats.
Yes.
Clara Kent in the building, man. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
What's
How
up?
you feeling? Now we chilling, man. You know we got the espresso martinis, the makeshift.
This is really good. It's really good. It's
We
perfect
chilling,
for fall.
man.
I love it.
Nah. But no, thank you so much for coming through, man. You know, what I mean,
Thank
this
you
is,
for
you know, I know
having me.
you're a very busy woman, but I definitely just want people to get to know you, get to know who you are.
Mm.
And, you know, we're just going to, like, you know, dive into your career, man. And just, like,
Okay.
you know, you've been moving and shaking and popping out here. You feel me? So it's just, you know, we're gonna get into that. But,
Okay.
so I know you're from, you know, Homewood, you know, out
Yes,
here. You
I
know?
am.
So how was it, like,
Repping
you
the
know, growing up
Bulldogs.
there? Like, you know, walk us through, like, you know, what was your childhood like?
My childhood, it was eventful.
Mhm.
Very eventful. You know, growing up. You know, where I live is actually kind of interesting because I live on the street with like a lot of the older Homewood old heads.
Okay.
And then at the end of the street, it was like street stuff.
Okay. Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Mhm. So I was growing up in the house. It's a house that's like been passed down to us from my great grandparents to my grandparents and et cetera, et cetera. And it was kind of like living in a house with like Medea and her brother.
Okay.
I don't know
For
how to
as erratic as Medea was, she had a good she had a moral compass at least. She was like,
Yeah,
I'm protecting you from the bullshit.
it was very it was strange because now I'm older and I've observed my life, I'm like, I really grew up like a Southern person.
Oh shit.
They had a whole hillside with like corn and green beans and tomatoes and cabbage and a peach tree.
Yeah.
And we would harvest from there. Like I grew up like a country
Damn.
Southern person, but
Okay.
then when I would go play with my friends, I was hood.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
That's crazy. I'm like, yeah. Listen,
like,
that's the
we get in
duality of
fights.
man. Yeah. Listen, I'll forage in the daylight.
Yeah.
And, you know, once the sun
was-
sets,
yeah.
we're on bullshit. Like,
It allowed me to not have such a boxed in mindset and be open though, because
Okay.
I grew up with some old Great Migration Southern folks.
yeah, facts.
And they're like, they say some crazy stuff to each other. They love dozens. They call it dozens, ripping
Yeah.
on each other.
Yeah, facts.
So they just go back and forth and say wild stuff.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I would probably get canceled for saying.
Yeah, nah. Like, I mean, like, did that environment like make you like quick on your feet, quick on like the uptake?
It
like,
made me want to be a writer because they're all writers and
okay.
poets and singers, and they just
Right.
keep it to themselves, but they share it in the house. And like,
hmm.
I grew up. My mom is the biggest influence of everything. Like she's top tier. Like she taught me how to like just be an independent entrepreneur artist.
Mhm.
Like you could do what you want. She was a hustler. Like people used to be like, "Is your mom Jamaican? Cause she be hustling."
Shout out to
like,
the Jamaican
shout out to the
hustlers.
Jamaicans.
Yeah.
But I was like, no. She's
Yeah.
not. She just be constantly like moving, making it shake. But yeah, growing up in Homewood was really cool. It was like we played outside when
Yeah.
I was young. I know kids now probably don't know what that means.
No.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
like we played
Outside
outside,
is Fortnite
got
and shit.
boo-boos and
Yeah.
stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it was.
Damn, the era of boo-boos is gone,
It's
isn't
gone.
it? Yeah, it's done.
It's video game. We had video games too. Like we would
Right.
still play video games together, but we would be like,
They
"All right,
weren't
let's
as
go
like
outside."
Yeah, like they weren't as like immersive as like a GTA, like something like because
like the PS2s and stuff was.
yeah, I mean, because like those games will keep you hooked for sure. But like, I
Yeah.
mean, GTA is just like if my real life was boring, I could go in GTA and just like live all my little
Right.
fantasies or whatever. Like
right.
you feel me?
Because
So
they got like PS5 and stuff
Right.
now. I'm like, that's a whole
nah,
different level.
bro, watch.
We
Like,
had
in like the next 5 years, you're about
PlayStation,
to fucking
PS2,
blue
little
skidoo into the
PS
fucking TV. Like you're probably about to
Yeah.
jump into your TV and like fucking start getting active in the
The
video games and shit.
VRs.
Yeah, real shit.
Yeah, that's a different immersion.
I feel that. So like you said, would you say like there was like outlets for you like at that time to be creative, or like was it something, because like you said like people kept it to themselves, and it's like I feel like that's kind of common within like the black community.
Yes.
You feel me? So like it's like you have this like this gift, this talent, but like you feel like people are gonna, you know, just like feel some type of way or like ostracize you or judge you for it. Was it, did you feel comfortable expressing the fact that like you were a writer and an artist, you know, back then? Or?
Like, yes and no. Like, I felt comfortable doing it, but not saying that's what I want my career to be.
Right, for sure.
Like, it's acceptable in most households to have it as a hobby.
Right, yep.
But not like I'm going to pursue this as a career where I make money and pay my bills.
Nah, for sure.
So that they start to do the... At first, I used to take it personal, but it's really they just don't want to see you hurt and to go through that pain of failure. And I get it, but you got to fail to win. So I kept that to myself. I did not. The only person I knew was my mom, that I wanted it to be a career and not just something to do to get some steam on.
Nah, like I definitely kind of like relate to that too, because like I'm Nigerian, you know, like my parents, like, you know,
okay.
Yeah, they came over here.
That's in my bloodline too.
Yeah, you feel me? So it's like, just like that whole culture, just like, you know, it's doctor, engineer, lawyer, you know what I mean?
Degree.
Yeah, degree, but like prominent degree.
Not just like a bachelor, like a...
Right. It's IT, engineer.
Yeah,
it's just
PhD.
Like, bro, and it's just like,
I feel you.
Like me, I'm just like, communications.
Because it's like...
I can hit you with that telecom degree. You feel me? Like, they weren't getting that shit out of me.
I don't...
So like...
I didn't have that level of academic pressure. Thank goodness, because I was always very, very artistic.
Right.
And they were like, we're not going to be able to bypass that.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
They used to buy me all these toys and stuff, and I would just go straight to the art table and the karaoke machine.
Facts, yep.
They were like, that's it? I was like,
yeah. Bro, I remember, bro, like, yo, like my pops got me this like fucking like Scholastic globe, and like you can like, you know, press each continent, and then like it'll be like, this is the capital. It's like, yo, I probably played with that shit for 30 seconds. I was like,
it's
yo, my
interesting.
nigga, this is
like,
not my vibes. Like,
I'm gonna play with
put in that golden eye though. Let's get active.
GoldenEye.
Yeah,
okay.
nah. That was probably like one of the first games I ever really played.
I have that right now at the house.
Yeah,
GoldenEye.
Like, you know, classic shit. But that's dope. So like, just, you know, growing up in that environment, like how did you find it like difficult to like kind of nurture that ability like in that environment? Or
it was difficult. I guess it was difficult because I grew up in a very Baptist church household.
I feel that.
We was in church 3 days a week. My grandma was the deaconess. My grandpa was the deacon, the head of the deacon.
There you go.
People.
Yeah, right.
My mom was the youth choir director.
There you go.
So I found my mom was cool with me listening to music, and I had I always wrote songs all the time. It was aggravating. And I also had notebooks of just me sketching. Like, so I was always doing that. And because I was so adamant about practice, I think they were like, yeah, that's fine, because it's that level.
Right, yeah, right.
But once you start taking it like, I want to take my practice in front of people.
Yeah.
It's like,
they kind of get worried and apprehensive, yeah.
I'm like, help me out.
Right.
But my mom was that person, so that's what made it much easier for me. Everybody else just had to go with it. She's like, yeah, you're going to come support, right? You're going to come to this show?
Yeah, right.
So it was interesting. It was kind of difficult, but I just pushed through it anyway, because I was like, this is what I'm going to do. Even though I had fear and I was anxiety, I had stage fright. I still was like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. Like,
so at like what age did you like start like taking like real serious?
I think I always in my little child brain took it serious.
Yeah, I feel that though. That's what it be.
Like the first click I had of, oh, I can do this was when I was like, I think I was 14.
Wow, okay.
And
that early.
There was this program called Creative Liberation, and it was at the old ID Labs in Lawrenceville.
Okay.
And we were working with Eden and Huggy on a project. It was it had Boaz on it. Wiz was working on his second mixtape or third one there.
Okay.
And he was like downstairs and playing PS2, and I was like, this is so cool.
That's crazy. Yeah, facts, yeah.
And that's when like I saw the process of making an album, because I was like making little songs and doing covers in my room and like writing my own little love songs, whatever. And but it was the first time I saw the process of like making an album and seeing how we print it and seeing how we sell it and how we package it and market it.
The whole process.
And I was like, oh, I can do that.
Damn.
That's all
so
I
like,
gotta do.
So like you were like fucking with ID Labs like surely like after 14, 15 years old, like or, like,
I went
when
there a
did you-
couple times and
okay.
collaborated with some artists that were in the city.
That's
and I went there and worked
crazy.
on yeah.
Damn, like what was that like at like fucking 14?
was-
That's
It
wild
was
as
dope.
fuck. Yeah.
Because Huggy is an amazing producer. Shout out to DJ Huggy. He was working with Wiz early on, but just sitting there and watching him work on records. I think at the time he was working on some records for like Mos Def, and I was like, "This is so hard."
That's nuts, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
And we had people come in and talk to us. Like there was this man who used to be an executive at Motown with Berry Gordy, and he talked to us about like,
yo, if y'all don't know what's yeah, like if y'all don't know the type of talk that's going on right now, man,
It
do
was
your
really
Googles.
cool.
Like that's crazy.
I have the book too. He signed the book for my mom and myself,
Wow.
and like he just sat and talked with us about how we can do this. That's why I have so much. That's why I've been able to do it on my own.
Yeah.
Because I've literally been, whether I knew it or not, given a whole bunch of keys and like a whole bunch of just pointers from OGs.
Was
And
there-
I listened.
Was
I'm
there like a sense of, I mean, again, just like such, like at such a young age, being at like such like a prominent, like yo, ID Labs is like a landmark, you know, in this city. Just for,
yeah,
like, you
and
know,
it was
music
like
creation,
it was like in the early times, so it was like you felt this just excitement when you were there.
huh, okay.
Like everybody we were all scattered all over the floor.
right.
Like there for hours just writing songs. Whoever, and it was competitive. So
right.
whoever had the best hook could get on the song.
Right.
Whoever had a good verse for this, your verse, you can get. It was that. So I
Yeah.
really had to sharpen my pen
That's
up.
fire. At
It
like
was
such a
crazy.
young age though. Like,
Yeah.
did you ever feel like
And
just
I was
like that
writing
pace?
against people that was like 26, 27.
crazy?
Like they've been doing, and I'm like, oh, I gotta. They were like, oh,
Yeah.
that hook, yeah, we could keep that. I was like, yes.
That's fucking
what I mean?
nuts. Like, did you ever like feel like a sense of just like I'm overwhelmed, but like I'm getting to it. Like you just like
Yeah.
adapted
I
quick.
was,
It sounds.
I
like.
was overwhelmed at first.
Okay.
But then it was like, it was fun. It became fun because we were doing that the whole summer. We were just working on this project. And they used to have a big festival in East Liberty called E-Fest. And it was like, I think they said it was like 2,000 people. So you know, like the center of East Liberty?
Like, where would that be?
It's like Capri's Pizza,
Okay.
Margot.
Yeah.
That
Okay,
intersection,
facts.
They had
yeah,
that
yeah.
whole intersection like all the way back to where Obama, like they had it all cut off and it was just people everywhere.
Whoa.
It was crazy.
That's wild.
They were like, this is your first performance. Let's go. I was like, no way.
Yeah, yo, that's crazy.
I was super young.
Damn. Nah, so like, how long would you say like you've been like officially just like, you know, put music out, like, you know, making shit like officially like?
To me, I personally say, and this is sooner. I personally say in 2018, somebody's going to definitely fight me about that. Like, no,
Yeah.
you do. Because I was in a group before, and it was, I don't even want to say what it's called because y'all going to look it up.
Hey, nah, man. Like, if that's like
I
your,
was in
your
a
early
group.
days, yeah. Nah. If that's your,
And
you gotta get the vibes. Like,
I was in a group before I was Clara Kent. I had a different name.
nah, cause like I was even like, you know, doing my little research. I'm just like, cause like, you know, like I saw your discography. And I'm just like, it was like, you know, more recent, but I was like,
Yeah.
you've definitely been making music before this.
Yes, I have.
Where is it at?
No.
Where is it?
Y'all
at?
did. But
yeah.
I was in a group.
Uh-huh.
And it was cool.
Yeah.
And I had this name. And that's why I laughed when you called me Songstress. Because
Yeah.
I used to call myself Alexandria the Songstress. Because my
Okay.
real name is Alexandria.
Oh, that's fire though.
And that was terrible. And I was like, you know what? I need to change my name. So then I was watching Kill Bill. I was like having this thing of watching
Come
Kill
on,
Bill
man.
at the time.
Come on.
Yeah.
Fine.
And on Kill Bill 2, you know how Patrice is sitting on the couch and she can't move her legs.
Yeah.
And he's just pouring a drink or whatever. And he's telling her why Superman is his favorite.
Yeah.
I was like, yo. I like that he said Superman has to dress as a human where everybody else has to dress as a superhero. But he is a superhero. He's just born that way. He has to lower
dumb himself down
to
be like,
fit
yo, let me
into
get this
society.
glasses and
Right.
spill my drink and shit, so like they know, like they're
Yeah.
comfortable.
And I felt that. I was like,
Real
that's
shit.
how I feel right now. Because I was working a job I hated. I'm trying to work on music, but I'm in like a relationship that's terrible. And it's getting in the way of my creativity. So I just felt like I was repressed and just bogged down and
Right.
just not open and expanded in my own natural
It's like
space.
you almost don't even want to like attach that to like when you were making like just like the genuine shit.
And then I made that's how my name Clara Kent came out.
Oh
It's 'cause
yeah,
of that.
yeah. How? Like, oh, so Clark. Oh my, that's
Yeah.
that's fire. Wait. Yo, that's a crazy backstory though. Like, okay, so like it was from like that Kill Bill monologue, and like
the
you just
moments of my
flipped it.
life just flipped. They just were exactly.
That's tough. That's tough.
that description.
That's tough.
Because I'd be at work writing songs,
Okay,
and I'm like, this is what I need to be
so
doing.
Clark and
but
Clara,
I'm in this state that's not natural to me, and I want to peel it off so I can wear that S on my chest and be comfortable and fly around and do what I need to do.
So how long were you in that group?
We were in a group for about a year.
Okay.
And I made my name literally right when it was ending, and it just was like a natural. Life was just like, yep, you figured it out. All right, next step.
Was it amicable, or like was it like a little bit of like fallout there, or like?
No, it's all love, because it was what it was. Like, there was a lot of personal stuff and just growth. Everybody had their different growth cycles.
Yeah, I feel that.
So it was just time to split.
No, for sure.
Because I was like, listen, I'm about to do this 150%. Yeah,
fucking Clara Kent, fuck all that. Like,
and when I'm in a group, I really like want to like, let's move, march together.
Yeah.
And I just think we had different paces.
Was there chemistry in the group like initially, and then like it just like like okay, but like it didn't really last like up until that year for real.
Nah, and that's cool. I was young. I was like, I need to stand on my own anyway. I always kind of like, even when I was working with the Creative Liberation group, I tend to like try to mirror or like be under, like mentor.
Right, yeah,
and I did at the time. I didn't know like I need to just trust my inner,
trust your
and it's stronger. I didn't trust that it was strong enough to hold me up.
Yeah.
So it was nice because I was doing a lot. I was doing the covers and promo, and I was doing all that stuff anyway. So it was like, okay, let me just do it for myself.
The backstory on your nigga.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that. Like, I'm a sucker for shit like that, man.
Yeah.
That shit is fire. So like, would you say like music making was your main creative outlet? Cause like, or like did like manifest through other things? Cause like I know for like as far as like inspiration goes and just like the motivation to do other shit, it can come. I mean, cause like like we're both anime heads for real, so we're just like that inspires me a lot.
A whole lot.
It inspires culture for real, but like that's a whole other discussion. But like anime like inspires me a lot, just like watching music videos, just like a whole bunch of like other art outlets that aren't necessarily music inspire me to like just delve into other outlets. So like was that the case for you, or was it just like music 100% straight up?
I think like music has been the strongest one lately, but it changes. Like when I first like started getting into like opening up my brain and not having the child brain where you actually remember stuff. I was obsessed with writing, music, drawing, painting, dancing, anything that I could create alongside like art. I was just obsessed with it. I was
feel that.
Building stuff. I was obsessed with the stars. I was obsessed with just all types of stuff. But music has always been like the strongest strike. Especially lately. It's just, it feels great to make music.
Just like the writing aspect, or just like the whole process of just
it's like
creating the music.
I feel like I'm painting but with sound. That's how it feels to me.
I was really about to say like so because like I know like you're a painter, like I just like did you ever like we're just like painting and it's like, yo, what if I can just, because painting specifically to me, it's just it's crazy. And it's like the same thing with like production and just like even like making music, just because like you have this blank canvas, you're just white, you know what I mean, then like from your head you're just okay, this color, same thing with sound, bro. It's like it's in your, like you can't explain it to anybody, but like once you do it and like it's like physical and it's just like, okay, like I get what was in that. It's like it's definitely like
it's
that
my
duality
element.
there.
It's air,
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm like, I love how music is like it directs feelings, like it really just touches on it
for real.
And when people resonate with it, it's really deep.
I think it's a manifestation of like feelings and like emotions, and like the strongest songs, like the strongest like pieces of content, really I feel like in any art, again, just like film, TV shows, again, like anime, like it just locks in on like an emotion, and it's like physical, and like you can see, like, yo, I felt that, bro. I felt that. Like,
that's why I love art and music together.
Yeah,
they're crazy together. That's why I think anime is something I really lean into.
Definitely, and like I want to speak on like the like kind of like exhibit like you had for Aura for sure. Like I definitely like want to get to that, but so. I definitely like want to ask you this, man, because like people we haven't had like too many like women in the industry on we've had a few, you know what I mean, but like I just want your take on what it was like for you to break into the industry in the city as a woman, as a black woman, like just like kind of fighting those, like I mean, because like it's a male dominated industry, is the entertainment industry. You know what I mean, like there's like certain stigmas for women coming into the industry, you know what I mean, how they got their success. You know what I mean? So, like, what was it like for you? Like, when you were just like, like, I want to take this seriously. I want to make an impact in the city. Like, what was it like for you? Yeah. Yeah, let's get into it. It's I know. Yeah, I know, for real.
I've definitely had, there was a lot of internal stuff.
Right.
And then there's a lot of external stuff. So it can be exhausting.
Yeah.
The internal stuff is, I mean, I hope people understand this or have gotten around to knowing this by now, but if you are a woman and you're doing anything in the world of hip hop, it's very hard.
Yep.
Like, especially if you're a black woman or a woman of color, that is not. It makes me stressed.
I mean, like it's real shit.
It's,
like, speak on it.
Even I think I was watching this interview and I think Lotto mentioned it. It's like there's some people who have underlying intentions of controlling you in ways that are very volatile.
And you niggas are weird, by the way.
Yeah, that's weird. That's super weird.
Yeah.
Like getting a verse, like, I'll give you a verse if
if you kiss me, maybe.
What
the fuck?
Okay.
What's going on? Like
you down that bad?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
DMs is that dry, nigga?
That's
like, what's going on?
But it's like, either you really down bad with morals, or you're really just down bad when it comes to like understanding what's good, like that, how that looks.
Real shit.
But I haven't dealt with anything that drastic. Okay. That's crazy.
Nuts.
But I think mine is a little different. Like, and this is not widespread. This is just like pockets. Right. Sometimes you'll deal with pockets of jealousy and be like confused. And you're like, why are you jealous? Is this jealousy?
Grown ass man.
I'm like, you're a
yeah. Facts,
what is that?
Facts.
So I felt that before, and that was weird. But most of it really, I stay to myself so much. A lot.
Do you feel like that may have hindered you as far as like just kind of accepting opportunities, or
no? Like at first I was very like involved with the scene, like as a patron. Like I was just like going to all these parties and just trying to get to know people. And then I realized like, nah, I'm an introvert for real. It was just like, I know I needed to network, and I needed to over network to feel what my limit is. I was like, oh, it's too much. So I just pop out.
Interesting. Okay.
It's just, I had to figure it. That's the personal thing. Like, that's why I was like, personally, I'm an introvert.
That's interesting.
And there's politics in how you network with people.
I've seen that for sure.
I've had to tell people and correct people about how they view me, because a lot of people sometimes will think that because of the stuff I've accomplished that I'm very difficult to talk to. And I'm like, you have no idea. I'm
so like you were just like,
I'm chill.
You just been approached like super serious, like, oh, like,
yeah, and I'm like, or this one time somebody, it was funny. They were like, I really expected you to like come to the door floating with kale in your hand.
Kale.
Yeah. I was like, what?
With fucking sage.
Yeah, like, I'm like, you're not wrong, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like, kale's great.
No, facts.
But I'm really chill.
To be real, like, when I was like, just like, kind of doing my own research, I was like, the fact that like you read manga, I was like, oh, like we're already gonna fuck with, like, I'm like, that's already a talking point. Cause like, again, man, like at this point, you fucking with anime, it's just like, it's more of an like emotional connection rather than like, oh, like I see it's on, let me just, you know what I mean? Like it's deep rooted. It's like I knew like I would fuck with you from that. Like I'm not. Yeah,
I really love anime.
Nah, like I'm no suit. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna push like, oh, like, good evening, Miss Kent. Like let me, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so like I knew like we can connect on that tip, but
I knew it was real. I loved anime when I worked at Teco.
Oh, for real?
I worked at the anime convention.
Where was that at?
It was downtown at the David Lawrence Center.
Have you been to any cons like outside of here? Or
No. I want to go.
Me too.
But I'm also like, not right now.
I feel
because
you.
I want to cosplay.
You been in Japan yet?
No.
Need to go.
I want to
I
go.
haven't been
I want to
yet.
get on the Attack on Titan roller coaster so bad.
There's a roller coaster for Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I'm not hip to that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kinda
It looks
crazy.
scary as hell.
kinda
Because
crazy.
I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. I'd be like, I'm gonna look it up after this.
Yeah.
Like that looks crazy.
Because it's like the Colossal Titan.
hell no. I'm out of here.
I will literally be like, all right. I gotta go. I gotta go
Yeah,
sleep.
nah.
I can't see this.
Yeah,
This
nah,
is
nah.
fucking with me.
Real
Sorry.
shit, but like it's so like definitely like hurdles are like you had to
Mhm.
overcome. Just like kind of breaking it into like did you? Yeah, no. Go
Okay.
in, go in.
So I didn't really have. I had more hurdles with the infrastructure of how Pittsburgh music is than people.
Not for nothing, like a lot of artists that come through here have the same sentiment.
Yeah, it's like the social infrastructure and also just Pittsburgh really invests a lot in classical type music, like the orchestras,
classical, like okay, so
and
yeah,
ballet.
got you. Okay, so like
Broadway.
like literal classical, like
Yeah, they
Got you, okay.
invest in that a lot more than other genres, but Pittsburgh is a sports town. We all know
for
that.
sure. Yeah, right.
Like I don't in the beginning people had me doing performances in bars and the game is on. I'm like, I'm not gonna win against that.
Yeah, real shit.
What the hell? Why would you do that?
Yeah, right.
That's crazy. Like
yeah.
they do that and that's how I know, like, for example, I was living in Chicago for a while going to school.
Mhm.
And that's where I realized, oh, we just have a infrastructure that only supports a certain thing.
Yeah.
Because in Chicago, their events, like when they have artists perform, it's very intentional. It's very focused. You know you're going there to hear some new music you've never heard before.
Right.
So you're just going to pay attention. Or you'll have a conversation about what's happening. But it's changed a lot in Pittsburgh because it used to be worse. But
Yeah.
they used to just be like sports bars
Yeah.
and stuff like that, or pay to play shows. You couldn't do a show
Pay
unless
to-
you
okay.
paid. Like some people would have to pay $50,
Right.
or sell tickets, and it was like
Just a whole fucking
I gotta pay $50 and sell these tickets to make back what I make, but you make back double.
yeah.
That's
just
the
like,
flip that people used to
just real
do in hip hop
nasty-
shows.
Yeah, no, just for
And
nasty shit.
I was like, nah. So it was a lot. The venues here are very close to hip hop,
Yeah.
or anything
sure.
adjacent to it.
Right.
So, there's a lot of stigmas around people that do hip hop here. They think that their venue's going to get, ghettofied or whatever. So all of that pushed me to a solution.
I feel you.
I was like, okay, the solution for me is let's throw our own events.
Real shit.
And that's what we did. Because I was in a group called Tribe Eternal. It's my family. And we was like, let's throw some events. And they were hard. And then people were like, oh, Clara Kent and, Tribe Eternal, blah, blah, blah.
And like I definitely want to kind of ask you about that too, because like me and the homie were like talking about it like literally the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Homewood specifically, for real, like it's kind of been like the scapegoat for the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like outside of Southside, like you know what I mean? Like when bullshit goes down, it's just like Homewood gets thrown under the bus for any
I
of
know.
the bullshit.
It's been like
in
that
the
for
city,
years.
you feel me? So
Mhm.
like I was gonna say, like, is that more recent, or like has that been the narrative for that area for like a little bit now? Just like again, just like speaking locally to like local news and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I think Homewood has a lot around it because of what it was going on in the 90s.
Yeah, right.
And it kind of hasn't left that stain on it.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm hoping for is people understand that things like that happen because of poverty and lack
For
of
sure,
resources and
yeah.
lack of having proper information, which is withheld very much so from communities like mine.
Right.
We are also a food desert. What that means is you can only go to a corner store and get lollipops and chips. You don't get vegetables and fruit and fresh meat and stuff like that.
Right.
So when you're deprived of food and education and wealth and resource, you resort to things like crime.
Right. Yeah.
So I was, hoping by now people would like kind of
Pick up on that.
yeah.
Yeah, guys.
Like when I don't have money in my account, I am really I have to assess my life.
If I'm hungry and I don't have the money to buy food, and I'm a human being who knows I need food.
Hey now. And you got kids.
If no one's looking like take this bread, am I now like just a felon who needs to be fucking?
And you're gonna go to what is I'm able to. It's gonna help me right now.
Sustain you, right?
Instant gratification, becomes
because you
almost
have no
survival
choice.
instead of like a choice.
You have no choice.
So yeah, that's how I've been. I know people take it as face value that, news sensationalizes a lot of stuff. They don't really put together the culture or what happened in these areas because, Homewood, Hazelwood, North Side, all these areas, West Side, we all got a little bit of stigma on us, but it's like, stop.
No, I feel you. And like, I just wanted your opinion on that because like I definitely wanted to talk to someone from Homewood on that, man. Like, I just, definitely kind of.
My thing is the food.
Yeah,
that's always been my thing. I pretty much talk about that every time. I'm like, listen, Homewood used to be a space where everybody had their own patch of land and garden, and people would exchange goods with each other. That was actually a part of our culture. Like, that's why you'll see different pockets of people in Homewood still growing greens and stuff like that. We were growers. We were like, that's what we did.
Real shit.
It changed when we got. I'm not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, no. You chilling.
I'll go into it.
So yeah, no. So you were in that group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Started doing your own shit, man. And
yes.
2018 and 2019, that was a fucking huge year for you. That was a huge time span for you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you were everywhere for like you were performing in Times Square, opening for Wyclef, bro. Like you were in like out South by Southwest. Did you, bro? You got music, person of the year for music in the Pittsburgh City paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fire. That's fucking crazy.
Thank you.
Did you feel that momentum going into that year, or did you just like kind of take it as it came? Like
I was just taking it as it.
Yeah.
Because it was. I still couldn't wrap my mind around the Times Square thing because it was.
Walk us through that. Like, how was that for you?
So, all right. So how it even happened was, my friend Kev. I don't know if I should say. Oh, what's up, Kev? I'm gonna just say Kev because that's simple. My friend Kev is like a hustler. Like he's on it. Like he's going to get you opportunities. He's great with that. And I think he heard my song or whatever because the song was a little bit old. It was like 8 months old. Yeah. But he sent it to this thing called A&R Room, which is run by Rich Nice. Shout out to Rich Nice. And he works with Sway Universe.
Okay.
So he heard it because he has like a 420 thing and he has like a mixtape and he puts people on it. Yeah. And that pretty much Kev submitting it to him got me the opportunity to go to Times Square because he was like, yeah, your music, it's Grammy weekend. I want you to meet some people. So we got to go to Kid Cudi's producer, D-Dot. He had like a Grammy party. It was cool. Yeah. And then there was this.
Was that the BB King's joint?
No, BB King's was for this, like, I guess it's like the Caribbean or South American MTV. Okay. And they had it at the BB King thing, and it was like all these artists from like South America and the Caribbean. And I was like, what the heck? And they were like, yeah, so many people are going to see this. I was like, oh my God. I was not ready for that. And that was really fun. Yeah. And then D-Dot had his Grammy party. That was fun. And then we got invited to this open mic. And Robert Glasper's band was like performing and they were like, yeah, go sing your song. I was like, what? So I had to hurry up and tell them like, this is the pacing, this is how it sounds. And then we did outside and it was really fun. Everybody was involved. It was cool. I had a fun time.
That's usually like the story for artists for real. Like you gotta be, cause like you never know an opportunity.
You never know. I didn't expect that.
You gotta be fucking ready, man. And again, fucking a show at Times Square, like and like you were saying, like you were dealing with stage fright anxiety, which I mean, I feel like every human being at some point just deals with, like, even like the greatest performers, like they definitely get over it. You know what I mean? They grow into who they are. Yeah. But it's just like definitely initially, like, it's just like, I'm about to get on stage in front of the fucking
Yeah, I'm like,
X amount of people, like.
Yeah, and I think I just had my listening party
Times Square, too. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's huge.
at the legendary BB King's in Times Square.
Like,
Oh, yeah, and we're
the
televising
fuck?
this,
Yeah.
and this is going to, like...
By the way, so, yeah, this could impact you greatly. Good luck. Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, real shit.
But it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then the South by Southwest was...
Yeah. So, like, how was it? Oh, I mean, because I do
cool.
know, like, when you're opening for, like, dope people like that, like, especially,
Mm-hmm.
Wyclef John. Shout out to Wyclef, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
If you're lucky, you get the chance to bump shoulders, dap him up, yo, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Was that the case at South by, like, did you get to interact with Wyclef, or, like, was it just, like, you're opening?
Oh, he came super late. He came, no, but by the time...
I forgot he was performing and shit. Yeah.
He came super late. No, but I was there for, like, the, testimony. What is that?
Sound.
I'm a lightweight, by the way.
And listen, this drink ain't no joke.
I'm like,
feel me? Yeah, this South and Espresso Martini.
Yeah, at South by Southwest, we had to do our mic checks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I got to meet a lot of cool artists from everywhere. There was this one band called Quantum Split. Yes, they're hard. Oh my goodness, they were super hard. Yeah. But it was real chill. I got to meet Megan Thee Stallion before she was like Megan Thee Stallion. And we took pictures and video together. And I gave her my music. She was like, okay. Yeah. She was real cool.
I love Meg, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Meg.
She's really cool. And then I didn't know we were almost like, she's only a little bit taller than me.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
How tall is Meg? Like 5'9", 5'10"?
She looks like she's like 5'11".
5'11". Okay.
Yeah.
Word, okay.
I was like, you're not that much taller than me.
Yeah.
I thought, because on screen, I'm like, I thought she was
too,
6
bitch. Fuck that. Yeah.
But she was really cool. I got to see Trey the Truth. I don't know if people know.
Oh, okay. No. Shout out to the Truth. Okay.
He's like a legend, Southern legend. And I met a couple other people too that are just like notable in New York and stuff. And it was really cool. But the Wyclef show, I've never seen a club that packed in my life.
Yeah.
Like, it was like...
I
felt like I was in Belly.
No.
Like, look around. I was like, yo.
Right, that opening scene, right? Niggas walking through.
Yes.
Right?
It was packed. Like, because they had, like, these tiers to it, and it had balconies. So it
like,
felt like a little stadium inside.
What was it? And, like, I feel like, people who are struggling with this couldn't, like, like, how, like, what was it for you being presented with these opportunities, right? Times Square, South by Southwest, and, like, that, like, damn, like, I love to perform. Like, I love to get my music out there, but, like, I'm dealing with, like, this hurdle of stage fright and anxiety. Like, how did you get on the other side of that?
One thing that helped me, I forget exactly where I got this from, but it helped me to think of a space that makes me feel at home. So I started to really, in my head, imagine that the stage is like my living room and it's somewhere cozy and safe for me, and that I'm inviting people over and I'm a host for them.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah.
So it helped me feel more like at home and grounded when I think of it like that. Because before, I felt like the stage was this foreign place.
Right.
Like, it's not familiar to me.
You're
I'm
almost
not
like jumping up.
Yeah, like, I don't know this enough. I don't know this enough. And it's like, when you get afraid of the unknown, you start to stifle yourself. So I was like, let me make it known to me and also learn from this new space and start to actually make it into home instead of like, this isn't home yet. Like, now it feels at home to me. I love getting on the stage. Sometimes people are like, get off, we got to do stuff.
Right, there you go.
I'm like, yeah, but I like warm myself up. Yeah, I guess it's a little territorial.
Nah, for sure.
But yeah, it helps ground me and get that together. But the stage fright thing was bad, man. It was bad. I'm glad we didn't have the internet like that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I would be a meme.
Yeah, but like, I feel like it's really empowering that, like, like, you were at that point at one point.
Yeah.
Like, you can look back and be like, I don't even recognize who that is anymore. You know
yeah.
Like, which is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, it's there's something to be said, man, because again, like, it's that fear is in everyone.
Okay, I'm glad, because I thought I was the only one for real.
And again, you're gonna have exceptions to the rule where people just get up on stage and it's like they've been there their entire life. I feel like more often than not, you're gonna get that apprehension.
Yeah.
And for someone to be able to fight through that and be able to be like, yo, look, I love to perform. I'm an artist. This is what I do. I feel like someone who wants to do that can at least pull from that and be like, yo, if she did that shit, then
Yeah, no, listen.
much more
If you
me,
have
like-
stage fright, if you have stage fright to the point your teeth is chattering, your hands are shaking, you want to throw up, that was me.
Yeah, man.
I was like,
Yeah.
like I couldn't get it out. Like I just did not feel like I was. I don't know. I just felt like I had to be perfect before I did it.
So again, man, during that 2018,
Which is crazy.
Nah, real shit. I mean, because like again, like you're getting up on stage and
Yeah.
easily being like the most vulnerable, and like it's to have the pressure to be like, yo, like this has to be perfect, like I'm done. It's just like it's kind of crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what's crazier is that like if you mess up in like any capacity, most people won't know unless you really highlight it and be like, ah, fuck.
That is something I had to
messed
learn.
that part up,
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
mess up.
Yeah, like
you're just
niggas
so critical.
won't know.
The more critical you are of yourself,
Yep.
you're not going to be able to do it. You really got to relax and just chill and realize this is fun. This is what you've wanted to do. Enjoy this. Like, bask in it. Don't go into like, oh, I'm not perfect enough. Oh, I don't have the best voice. I don't have the best dance moves.
So not real shit. Like that shit is just
Like, have y'all seen a lot? Like, there's so many
artists
artists that express themselves in very different ways. There's no need to press yourself like that.
Nah, for real. And it's just like, so during that year, right? Like again, man, just like a real big year for you. Like, did you feel like, was there a sense of like, yo, like I'm doing my thing? Like, was it kind of like easy to rest on complacency during that year?
No.
Okay.
No. No.
Mm.
Like, my thing is, anytime I get opportunities, in the past, I was grateful for them, but I didn't allow myself to sit in it and be grateful and then move to the next. I'm like, okay, I gotta get to the next thing. I gotta get to the next. Like, I was overworking myself. I think in that year, 2018, I dropped it on Bandcamp, and then it came out digitally everywhere in April. I was on the City Paper cover. Then I made a mini tour for the summer. Then I did probably like 100+ shows that year. I was going crazy.
Yeah, nah, you were.
I needed to relax.
Yeah, fact. So nice.
And that's like in out, in out of Pittsburgh.
Real shit. So complacency was like the last, like what kept you from doing that? Was it just like the fuck, like I don't know if I'm ever have like a stress like this again, so like let me just fucking just keep the foot on the gas? Or?
It was like a mix of like, at the time I was going through a lot personally. Like I had a lot going on with my health conditions and stuff, and I didn't even think I was going to make it through some of it.
Damn, man.
So I really just was like, this is what I've been waiting for, is this moment to like really get myself out. I'm not going to allow anything to stop me from doing that. I just did it in an unhealthy way.
Yeah.
Because I overdid it, but at the same time, it saved my life doing that, because it just put me in a different state of mind to fight for myself more.
Facts.
I still had to work through a lot of personal stuff with family, friends, all types of things. But it was like, it was putting me in the state of mind of like, I have this. This is something that is from me and it's for me. Like this music career, this music I make, I'm going to devote myself to it 100%, but I just went kind of crazy.
Yeah, so like, I mean, when you're...
I wish I would have rested more. That's
real shit.
Yeah.
And I know just in the pursuit of that, man, like, because it's just it's a hungry race, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's a... I'm gonna just use the word desperation for now, just for lack of a better word, but like it's just like the hunger is there so much. Like, yo, like I want to, like I want to capitalize. I need people to know, and it's just like you're in the pursuit of that.
But you're not a machine.
Yeah, like you just neglect your health.
Yeah.
I haven't slept in X amount of, like, you know what I mean? Like I've slept X amount of hours like the past 2-3 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's so easy to neglect all that stuff, and like it's just, you don't do it purposefully. You know what I mean? It's just like,
I get lost in stuff sometimes. Yeah. Like when we had a space called Flow Lounge back in the day, I used to be in there just painting stuff for like so long. And I'd be like, oh dag, it's 6 a.m. Whoops. Yeah. I got a meeting in like 2 hours. But yeah, I get lost in creating sometimes. But I learned now how to balance it more and look at rest as a form of art too. So now I appreciate that as much as other art forms.
Nah, rest is definitely a form of art.
Yes, it is.
And
because I didn't know that like resting requires you to like not overthink about this is why you gotta literally just be present.
Clears the slate.
Just do normal shit. Like do your dishes.
Clears the slate, man. Like let me just
get out of that
because it refreshes you for when
Yeah.
you are ready to jump back in and like attack the
Yes.
creative points with
Mm-hmm.
your full like vigor. And like
Yeah.
when you're getting presented with all these opportunities, man, like again, open up in Times Square and the Wyclef show, and what was your family's reaction like? Were they like fully supportive? Were they still kind of on the fence about your career choice? Or
I think my family was really supportive, like especially when I dropped my project and I was on the cover. They were very proud of me. I think the only apprehension they had in the past, now that I'm older and understand, they just didn't want to see me have heartbreak from failing at something I love to do. And that's because I think some of my elders, they probably tried to do music at a time that was very difficult to do in Pittsburgh. Like I can't imagine trying to do music in like the 40s or 50s in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a prime time for jazz and stuff, so there was a lot of music history here, but I think culturally, also the church thing back in the day, like secular
Elvis
music,
just jocked your shit.
Yeah, so they're thinking from that point of view.
Elvis would have came right through talking about
They're not realizing like I can just put it on DistroKid.
Yeah.
Like it's a different era.
Yeah.
So it's been supportive ever since. Okay. Honestly, yeah.
That's dope though. That's dope. So
I think they wouldn't support me if I was, but though they'd probably be like,
"All right,
you want this application?"
There's this IT class I've been, looking
at. I've heard of Everest.
Good things about that. Yeah, right. Yeah. You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV.
Yeah.
Passing you by.
Send it to me, like screenshot it and send it to me.
Real
Everest.
Shit though, nah. But so again, man, I was doing my research, doing my due diligence, man, and again, couldn't find any full projects, right?
Oh, yeah, because I took.
But right, I'm about to give him game, right?
Oh,
so
he's about to do it.
Do you still plan on re-releasing Aura in that 2023 year? Oh, put her on the spot. What's up? We need that, Claire. Cause no. Cause like I saw the IG vid, I was like, oh, this is and like I want to talk about that concept too, cause that's fucking dope. Like I was like, cause like the beat, I was like, oh, I need this, need that.
That is definitely.
Like, I gotta wait a whole other year for that. It's like, okay, cool. I respect it. Like you want to get it right, whatever. But it's like like, what we doing with that? What's up?
So I'm working on that.
Okay.
I actually, yeah.
What's up?
There's some songs on there. I'm just smiling because I'm excited about the project.
I'm super excited for that, bro.
Because if you want to listen to the old one, it's on my Bandcamp.
Okay.
You can listen to that one. That's the mixtape version.
Mm-hmm.
This is different. I'll just say there's live, beautiful instruments on there. There's amazing reimagined sequences on there. It feels crazy. I'm excited. And that's all I'm going to say. It's definitely reimagined.
Like the concept of you like dropping that, because like it was an art exhibit, right? Like you dropped like I don't even like know what to call like it was just like an art exhibit, like presentation for the concept, for the absolute. So like kind of like walk us through that, like if you can, like in like whatever degree like you want to.
Yeah.
What was that like, putting that together and getting that off and getting that vision together? Like that was fire.
So Aura Reimagined, wow, that was very interesting. So it was for it was like a test run.
Facts.
So they have a program called Fresh Works at KST. Shout out to KST. And I wanted to try out the concept of having a living sculpture piece in sequence with my music. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know who the artist was at first. I just remember going to, Spirit in is that Bloomfield? Lawrenceville.
Okay.
And they had this big sculpture called The Vault, and it didn't have the artist information. I was like, because I kept seeing that. I was like, that's so cool. That's what I want to do with this project. I want it to be like this futuristic, Afrofuture type, but old school feeling.
Yeah.
It's cool. So I contacted Justin. Shout out to Justin. He used to have the Shadow Lounge back in the day.
Shout out to the Shadow Lounge.
Swear.
Yeah.
He's an OG. He's my OG. So he was like, oh, yeah, that's Ian Brill. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I hit him up and we've, not FaceTime, we Zoomed.
Okay.
And he immediately was like, oh, this is amazing. I'm on it. Yeah, let's do it. So we came together and did the project. He built it based on what I want to do whenever that happens, so stay tuned. And I wanted the piece to like almost immerse the person, so when they're looking at it, it's like they're surrounded by it. We could only do like a small cap of it, but I wanted it to be longer. It was gonna be cool. I can't wait till we'll talk about that. But yeah, and then we worked on the sequencing. It took months. So we worked on that from September all the way to December. Just constantly.
I'm a sucker for that type of shit.
Yeah.
Bro. Like I love that shit. Just like
it's
concepts,
amazing.
just like accompanying, just like an album. Like that shit was just like like when that shit actually dropped. Like what was like the turnout like what was the vibes like?
It was cool. Like at first I didn't know if I never know if something's gonna go well. I just like hope for
as
it.
an artist, like you
I'm like,
know,
hopefully people, because I hadn't been out and about for so long. Like once 2020 hit, I pretty much just sat back and started working on stuff. And I had to work on my health. I had to work on all types of personal stuff too. So I didn't really have anything out. Like I was doing stuff like when it comes to collaborating with organizations and stuff, but I wasn't doing any music. I performed very rarely. Some people didn't even know I performed at all. I was kind of like, so I didn't know if people were going to come out because I had been gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they probably forgot about me.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. It was sold out both days.
Wow.
They had to add additional seating because people were like, I have to get a ticket.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Like, what was that feeling like? I mean, just like, even coming off the back end of like, I don't know if people are going to remember or like, still like resonate with like my vibe. Like, how are you feeling then?
It felt good. I was like, wow, it was well received. I really wanted to practice it more as a vocalist and as a performer. I wanted to like rehearse it more. I'm obsessed with like rehearsal. If you talk to anybody that was in my band, they're gonna be like, yeah, she would try to rehearse with us like 3 days a week. And we're like, no, just 2. I'm like, okay. So I'm obsessed with like getting it right and making it feel right. But the turnout was great and people were like, oh, this is amazing. I'm like, oh, yes. Because it was my album. It's stuff on the album. So I added different elements, new vocals, new soundscapes and all types of stuff. And it was well received. It made me excited. I'm really excited to drop the album, but I'm focused on these mixtapes first.
Okay, so like we're focused on the mixtapes now.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to touch on because you performed at the 420 festival, right? Out here? Or like
the Cannabis Festival.
Mad I missed that one.
It's alright. everybody looked like they was.
Yeah, I'm mad I missed that one, but like
people were barefoot smoking in the park.
Like walk us through that opportunity, like how that came about, like, cause like I saw that like you posted about that, like I was like, 1, that's dope. 2, there's a fucking event like that in this fucking
city.
What the fuck? I need
the mayor was there.
The mayor was come on, cuz like bro, like I need to be in that mix, like so like I mean like what was it like perform? I mean like even like touched on it like a little bit earlier. People just looked like they were barefoot, fucking just
barefoot,
walking their dog,
smoking. They had blankets on.
Like
they were passing out free edibles.
Come on, like how did I miss that vibe? Like that's
it's
fucking
fine.
crazy.
It's honestly, it's the Pittsburgh promotion curse. That's what I call it. They don't. It's like it doesn't. It flows out like baby oil instead of water.
The PPC. We're gonna call it the PPC. Yeah, that's
I'm like,
crazy.
why? We got. Yeah, I don't know.
Come on, man.
And people be mad. They're like, I didn't hear about it.
Real shit. No,
that happens so much.
I'm gonna definitely tap in for the next year. But like what was that like for you? Like, was it do you feel like it was more of like a, like I fuck with like, cannabis and weed and like, shit like that. Like, let me just kind of be in this community, or did you see it as like another opportunity to like, get your shit off?
I think it was both.
Yeah, but no, fair enough.
I was like, yo, I get to perform at a cannabis festival. That's cool.
And get weed after. Like,
yeah, it was real chill. It was real vibey.
Yeah.
Sierra Sellers performed. She's amazing.
Okay.
And I also manage a group and an artist named Monty Bailly and the Mob. So I performed my set, they performed theirs, and then Sierra performed, and it was like boom, boom, boom. It was really dope. Yeah, I really got into it because I'm working with a project or a group production called Zero Fossil.
Okay.
And they have like really dope stages where they just use solar paneling and it's like eco-friendly and stuff.
Okay.
You've probably seen them around. They do Deutschtown and they do different festivals in the city.
Right. Okay.
So I was talking to one of the people that, you know, operates it. Her name's Amelia. Shout out to Amelia.
Word up.
And we were just working on just talking about things, how we can collaborate, how we can work together. Because I have a production company and I want to, you know, utilize their,
Yeah, no.
business.
Yeah.
So, she was like, "Yo, not to, you know, this is a side note, but would you like to perform the cannabis festival?" I was like, "Yeah," and it was just that simple.
Bitch, I'm all right now.
Yeah, I am. So it was just like, you know,
Oh, that's fire.
I'm really cool with a lot of people that do really cool things.
No, I'm like, what was like the crowd there, like just fucking dazed out? Did they even?
Oh, everybody was, yeah.
Like, did they like
The Rastas was there?
were
I
they
was like, that's how
reactive?
you know.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
were they like interactive? Like were they like, you know, like kind of
I make people get interactive.
Okay,
Yeah,
word. All right,
you
yeah,
gonna
that's good.
interact if I'm on stage.
That's good. You know what I mean? Like,
You-
that's something
we
that
ain't gonna be
speaks to-
like,
yeah.
nah, we going.
That speaks to your craft for real. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you gotta get the crowd engaged for real.
Mhm.
Nah, that's fucking dope. So, I also want to ask you this for real. Like, what
Yeah.
what would you say like is like your most defining moment in evolving as an artist, man? Because like it's just that answer is different for everybody. Like you said, like you're coming from a place where it's just like not necessarily like, you know, have to. All right, like you have to hide it essentially. Like if you're not making direct money and success from it, like it's almost a hobby. You know what I mean? So like you're coming
people
from
say
that, and it's just like, so like what was like the defining moment for you where you were like, you know what, fuck it, I may not be making, you know, X dollar amount from it, but like I fucking love it, I'm good at it, I'm dope at it. This is just what it is.
There's a couple for me.
No,
Like,
it's the
there's-
rough. Yeah, nah, for
I'm
sure.
trying to think of the one that was like the first one to initiate, almost like the boom, boom, boom.
Mhm,
It was
mhm.
almost like a dynamite stick going.
That's how it goes though, for real.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real. I think the time I really was like, you know what, this is what I have to do. My mom passed away, and when she passed away, I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that. Cause when she passed away, the thing that stuck in my head was like, she worked so hard her whole life to make sure I could do what I want to do. And then when she passed, she was in the room that has like a beautiful big window, so she got to see outside and stuff. But she had boxes of bills, bro. And I was like, nah, I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't want to hustle so much I don't get to enjoy my life. And my mom got to enjoy her life, but I know that she sacrificed so much for so many of us, myself and other people. She was a matriarch for real. Like, she was really about community and kids, and just, she gave so much of herself. And she was an artist, but she didn't get to live that out.
Wow.
So for me, it was like, it was like, okay, going back to anime, not to like mess up the deepness
please
of
bring
it.
back to anime.
So if you watch My Hero Academia, my mom is like All Might,
Mm.
and I'm like Deku.
Mm.
Yeah, see,
Mm.
and that level of sacrifice is like, okay, I really got to step into the role that I'm here to do as a human being, not just as the identity and personality.
Some niggas won't even get the level like that's
Yeah.
fire.
So that's how my mom was to me. That's our relationship. So when she passed, it was like, oh, it's that like put that in the end, like it. Yeah, if you gotta watch My Hero Academia.
That's what like we're like it's a different wavelength
Yeah.
right now, like but like real shit though.
Yeah,
like,
so that's why I'm very, very like, I have my moments where I want to give up and I'm like, I'm tired and I don't want to do this no more. But it's always bypassed because I'm like, this is what I'm here to do. And my mom was here to do that, but she also was here to make sure I'm here to do what I need to do.
Absolutely.
So I'm not gonna slouch on anything I do.
No, I'm not like that's
Yeah, that's what kept me like,
yeah, man. That's fucking
like, I don't care what's in the way. I might slow down, but I'm never gonna stop.
No, absolutely, yo.
Yeah.
I definitely want to again, man. You know, one of the shits I listed off rather was CEO, man. You know, shout out to Bounce House, man. You know what I mean? Like, how did that come about? What was the origin? Because like, really, like the MO behind this is just to elevate the underground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I feel like that really like, you know, coincides with like what we're doing. Like we just want to provide a platform to people in the city that are doing their shit.
Yes.
Let them talk their, cause it's like there's no one to holler. Like it's just, and I'll say it, man, you know, till the fucking wheels fall off. Like it's so much dope talent in this city.
There is, yeah.
Like the level is scary. Like scary, like as far as like, yo, you're doing this, and no one is taught. Like, what are we doing right now? Like what is going on? You feel me? So like, and like I feel like, you know, Bounce House definitely encapsulates that energy. So like, how did that come about? When in your career did that, like, you know, start up? Like, you know, definitely walk us through that. Like,
since I was a kid, I always wanted a production company. Actually, on my yearbook, it has like Original Sounds Production because I really wanted a production company.
Facts.
But yeah, it really started when it was me as Tribe Eternal and then another group, Pyramid PGH. We had a building and it was called Flow Lounge, and then we held different events there that were really dope. But I was holding events with my team, and one of the events was called Bounce House. It was like an after hours thing. And shout outs to, actually, rest in peace to Marcel. He was like our hip hop historian. He would like draw everybody in the events and stuff. And he was holding an event at the Bushnell, and after that, people would come to my event. So it was really interesting because I always loved holding events, like since I was young and I was in Urban Youth Action. And I thought like, okay, this will be dope to not only like express my art and my music, but really collaborate with other artists and like DJs. And I like indoor festivals.
Yeah.
That's just me. So I wanted to do something like that. And that's what we did. And that's how it came about. I was like, oh, I can really do it. So I focused on myself as an individual artist first. Got my name out there. And then I was like, all right, it's time. It's time to do Bounce House. I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's just like, so when you like decide to do it, like, you know, getting it off the ground, like, you know, kind of getting the message out there, like, what was that like? Was it easy for you to like, you know, kind of get people to rally behind that?
It took time.
Yeah, right.
Because that's why I did the events first, so people got to know me as an artist.
How were the initial events?
They were dope.
Yeah.
At first, I did not know if they were going to be successful or not. But we just did the old school way, had some flyers, went into different events, talked to people, just let them know what's up. And people are excited to see some new stuff. So I made flyers that looked popping. Right. And like I tapped people that don't really get the stage that often, but they're dope. Like they are dope. So I would always try to look for artists that like, you're dope, but you're not getting enough stage time, or you're not getting enough like.
Let's talk about it.
So that's how it worked. And then people were just, it was word of mouth and people hearing about it. It was real organic.
Damn, okay.
It was dope.
So then like you branched off with Bounce House Global. Like, is that, do you want to take that more grand scale than just the city, or like?
Yeah, I think that's important. I think it's important to have it be Pittsburgh, but also include other collaborators.
Yeah.
Because that is the goal of Bounce House. It's a collaboration company. I really want it to be a community. I'm not DJ Khaled. Yeah. A community production company. Jewelry. Accurate.
Right, yeah.
Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do.
Right.
But the goal is to make it a community production company. I just like creative direction. I just like creative direction, so that's something I like to do. I like to hear people's ideas and like go into a vision state with them and make it real. I love manifesting stuff. It's my favorite. So that's my goal for the production company, is to have people be able to use like resources and just creative direction and stuff like that and get something like.
Have you done anything just like outside of your own, just, you know, pretty much just like creating the event? Like, have you collaborated with anyone that was just like, yo, like this shit was fire, or like not as
the first try of that was the Freshworks event with Ian Brill and myself. That was a collaboration.
Okay.
And then I'm working with the artist Moni Bahia right now, who her album,
it's crazy.
She produced it, she wrote it, she composed it. She worked with different musicians, like she worked with Benji and some other people in the city too. But it's crazy.
Yeah, she's like that.
Yeah, I'm excited. She's all like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, listen, it's hard.
Yeah.
And the people that are meant to hear it, they're going to hear it because it's
Facts.
really dope.
Nah.
So I'm working with her on stuff. She has so many great ideas, and it's really cool, and it's also crazy a little bit, but that's my homie. I also have other things I want to say, but I can't. We got something really cool happening. It's going to be a festival, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Y'all be
So those are I'm working on some
Yeah.
events for next year too. So
I want your opinion on this too, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because I feel like within the raps, because like I look at hip hop as a culture, right? Like I don't necessarily
Yes.
look at it as a genre.
yes, I'm glad you said that.
Rap is a genre
It is.
of music. Hip hop is a culture. So
It
like
is.
that's the umbrella that like everything goes under. Like I view, R&B, trap, rap, like whatever branches of rap you want to go into, that's under the umbrella of hip hop, right?
Right.
So I know, just like in the instance of rap specifically,
Mm-hmm.
that's a very it's based in ego, rap specifically, right?
Yeah, it's bravado.
Just like
mostly.
bravado
Or information.
braggadocio, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And you don't really see too much collaboration, at least on the come up. Once niggas are on, they'll be like, I can't speak for the city, but like once niggas are on in general,
Yeah.
they're more open to collaboration because they've already gotten their pie and like they're cool.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You're right. Sometimes.
Right? Sometimes.
Yeah.
So I just want to like see what your opinion is on the R&B space in that
Mhm.
in that aspect. Like, are people more open to collaboration at the early stages, would you say, or is it more just like they're still kind of operating in that ego, or like in that like I'm gonna wait till like at least I'm on and like I got my name popping before I even open up to work with other people?
I think it depends. It depends on what type of R&B it is. Like if it's like the radio pop R&B, I think they're less likely to collaborate.
Yeah.
But if it's like people that are just genuinely making some good music,
Yeah.
we'll collaborate.
Yeah, no, I feel
We don't got a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like I want to make a good song.
Facts.
So to me, that's the lanes I see. I see people that are like, no, I'm trying to be like, out here. And then there's people that are like, no, I'm trying to make some good music. What's up?
You ever been in the studio with someone and like you just kind of been like, I don't know if this is, and like obviously like you gotta name no fucking names, obviously, you know what I mean? But like has that ever been an experience for you where like you're just like,
Not recently,
okay,
but in the past, yeah. Like people used to try to do the hook singer thing. Like they're like, oh, can you sing this like Beyonce? Can you sing this like Rihanna and Beyonce
niggas
mixed
got it
together?
like JV Fox in that fucking Genius documentary.
Yeah.
Smoking around this night.
I'm like,
Ready.
but you know what? That made sense because his voice. They'll have like, first of all, I have a deeper voice. Like I'm
Yeah.
more of an alto singer. They'll be like,
Right.
yeah, can you do some stuff like Mariah Carey? I'm like, no, I can't. You got the wrong person. Like I
Can
can't
I
hit that.
do some stuff like Mariah?
Yeah.
I don't. Am I Mariah Carey? Let's just do no.
Right.
Like I'm not.
So I've
fuck?
had that type of stuff happen.
Yeah. Right.
But nah.
Okay.
I've had an easier time collaborating with people that do either R&B adjacent or R&B music
Yeah.
than people that rap.
Right.
Not because the people that rap have an ego thing. It's just they have this like linear view of an R&B singer.
Copy. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them, not
Yeah.
all of y'all.
That makes sense. But we're winding down here. I mean, I definitely just want to get this question off, man. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about opening up for Thundercat, man.
Oh, okay.
Congrats. First
Thanks.
off, congrats. That's fucking dope, man. So
Thank you.
walk me through what that was like, especially again, you're at home. It's Stage AE, man. This is like a pretty well-known venue at the crib. Opening up for Thundercat, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty dope opportunity. So walk us through how you were feeling, what that was like, man. And,
Yeah, I was shook.
yeah.
Yeah, I was shook. So what had happened was that week is my mom's birthday week. My mom was born on the 24th. So I was already like emotional and I was doing some personal stuff and I was just like, and I had just moved.
Wow.
And moving is it's
Moving is
traumatizing.
crazy. Yeah, no, moving is definitely trauma.
It's
for
like,
sure.
what?
Moving is trauma. For sure.
Never moving again.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I was just exhausted, and then my mom's birthday, and then I was just like, God, please give me something. Like I was just done.
Yeah.
So then I look at my phone the next day and they're like, hey, in the email, hey Clara, would you be open to opening for Thundercat? Like, are you interested in that? I'm like, oh fucking course I am.
Yeah,
So
maybe if I have time, sure.
Right,
Like, yeah.
let me think of yes.
Yeah,
so I went
right.
into like, oh my, like I started screaming because he is my favorite. He is one of my
dope,
favorite
man.
artists.
Thundercat
He's
is
so dope.
Yeah.
You like anime and you like do the cat, like I like cats.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, right.
But so I was just like, I called my band up, like, yo, we gotta get this ready. They were like, bet. And then I made a flyer and I posted it and I just put my phone down because I didn't want to look.
Yeah.
I didn't want to look at what people were gonna say because it was gonna make it real for me.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, I can't believe this just happened. We didn't have time to rehearse or anything, and it was just like, I don't even know. I was like, how did this happen? Like, so what happened was, I guess somebody at Stage AE was asked, hey, what are some artists that you think should open for Thundercat? We need an opener. And they listed 3 of them. And out of the 3 of them, when they listened to the stuff, I think they picked
Fire.
Yeah, I don't know who the other 2 were. Sorry.
And nah, man, I mean, because like I was gonna listen to your stuff, right? And like that's why I was pressing you on that oil release. Like we need that.
Oh,
Fuck that.
that's
We
gonna
need
trump everything
that.
I've ever come out with.
That shit sound. I mean, because like even like what
Yeah.
you have out like now is fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Thank
Like you know
you.
what I mean. But that's just dope. But
Yeah.
before you know what I mean, because like I definitely want to give you your space to promote whatever
Oh, for
events
sure.
you got coming up.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of gotta ask you a selfish question, man. What are your some of your like your favorite anime? You know what I mean? Just like give me like your top 2 or 3. You know what I mean? Because like we're running out. But,
All right, so gotta watch Gurren Lagann. If you ain't watched Gurren Lagann yet, you should watch that right now.
Fire.
Right now I'm obsessed with Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm also excited to see what happens with Oh wait, y'all don't know about Demon Slayer.
Nah, I mean, bro, any real niggas that are with the game I see.
I'll just say My
know
Hero
what's
for
up.
now. I'll just say
Yeah,
My
all right,
Hero.
fuck it, all right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, nah, dope. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if you got any events, literally
October
anything you got coming up.
14th.
Yep.
Sisters of the City. It's myself, Sierra Sellers,
Yep.
Simone, and Chandra Ram at Mr. Small's Theater. Don't miss it.
shit,
Buy
right
some
there,
tickets
yeah.
from us. Yes.
There you go.
That's
And
something you got to go
where
to.
can they
7
find-
p.m.
Where can they find you on social media or any socials?
At I am Clara Kent on everything.
Okay.
I keep it simple. You could also, this is going to sound very uppity, and I
Yeah.
promise I'm not being uppity.
Yeah, right.
You can Google me and all the stuff will pop up.
Talk heavy, talk it. Speak on it. Yeah,
Just
yeah,
Clara
yeah.
Kent and I pop up.
There you go. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? MIC podcast, man.
MIC.
Episode 59, man. We got the black superwoman, Clara Kent, in
Damn.
the fucking building, man. And route this man. Yo, peace, man.
Peace.
Sir.